Hi, John Wanoa here. Today is Thursday, 15th of December 2016. Just calling Jim week or two and have a little chat. At the Hui meeting. Jim? Yeah. I think I'll be coming on Sunday if we got no place to stay. I was talking to Kingi last night. He rang me up, and he'll be coming down, but he'll let me know if he knows when the hui is and where it is. Then he'll come down with me. Oh, has it? Oh dear. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I'll let him know. Yeah. Okay, okay. Well, I'll let him know. I'll let him know it's not this weekend then. That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Because I just want to make sure he come, and it's just him to worry about, not anybody else up there. They got their own agenda. Oh yeah, he called me too. So what did he have to say? Yeah, and so he would have told me the same thing, that Bill English and Paula Bennett went to their hui. That was yesterday. Eh? They're calling what? Yeah, yeah. So I said to him, they're calling us sovereign because they've got nowhere to turn to. They've caught out. Did you know that the latest last night, yesterday, is that John Key is going to be assassinated, and he's on the hit list now because that's why he left. I've got it on my Facebook site now, and I made a video about it, and that's where it starts. They're all caught out, the whole lot of them, and I said to Willie, they're caught up. The group they're calling together for the hui in January 21st, I think, in Pangaru. He wanted me to go up. I said no, I can't, because you fellows have to sort your own troubles out with Bill English and Paula Bennett and New South Wales government. That not the whakamininga. That eh? That's not the whakamininga that we're conducting on the 6th of February inside the Waitangi Marae. That's why I said to Kingi, we're the commercial landowners, and they're not, because they're still stuck. I said to Willie, you fellows will have to get the crumbs from the government of Wellington with the Confederation side. They have to look after, right? You get that? Hello? Oh, gone off. Phone switched off. Your phone went off. Hello? Is it? Can you hear me? Jim? Anyway, that's the latest. Okay? You might hear me or not, but your phone went off. Hello? Jim? Uh-oh. Something's not right. That doesn't sound right. Hello? Jim, your phone is not working properly, and I don't know whether you're hearing me or not, but I'm just saying that they've got problems. They've got major problems. The British are going to go right over the top of them because that's where it is at the moment, and that flag is on. Hello? Oh, this is not good. It's not good. The phone is useless. Jim's phone. I've never come across a phone that doesn't work properly. In business, it's not good enough. Really not good enough. Anyway, Jim's had a good talk with Willie. And if they're going to follow that way, I'm out of it. I'm not going along with it. And they'll get caught. They'll get caught because the titles, they haven't got the titles. I'll stick with Kingi. I'll give Kingi a ring today. And looks like Jim is going to follow those fellas. Well, welcome to it. If he's going to go that way, that's alright. That's the big shift. This is where it's going to end. That's the end of this video. If that's the sort of reception I'm getting from communicating properly, then it's not up to scratch with the British watching this whole charade going on in New Zealand here with Maoris. That's what I'm saying. I'm disappointed that Jim's phone is not working. I'll have to go and buy him one so that I can get him or find out what's going on with Willie and him now. You see? They're trying to take over something that they don't know anything about up there. Kingi, this one's for you. These guys are not military. They're not military, and they don't know what you and I know about Navy and military. In this sense, with documents that matter. So, for the record today, I'm just talking to my chief down in Apotiki. Jim week or two is getting switched around by these fellows, these New South Wales Maoris and Willie Pater. You see, Willie has put the seed in his head, in Jim's head, and changed his mind about his hui and cancelled his hui that we're supposed to have on Sunday. Do you see? The beast is working in not mysterious ways, but in a way that is going to damage their whole Maori way of thinking. That's all I can say. I know what's going on in the big world. When they play around with things like this, they get the pound note on their head. I'll just pick out where it's going and roll up in front of them with Kingi. They're banding up there, and my friend Jim, if he turns out on me, turns away from me, then I'll know that he's going along with that crew. And I'll just sit and watch. I'll just watch it all unfold until they get to Westminster by themselves and find they don't have the title. Sorry to say, that's how it goes. And they'll end up in more mess because the Moai and the documents are already in place and they can't fit that. They can't talk to that. And I'm saying on this video, I'm very disappointed that they're going down that track of this flag. They don't know nothing about how that works in the cabal world or in the elite world apart from Tikanga Maori. They got nothing to do with this lot in Britain. They think they're going to go there without all the relevant documents. It's not going to work. They think I'm going to go and bow down to them and pass it over. No, shucks no. No. I'll go there and stand there and I'll tell them a thing or two about what's what in the commercial world and banks. So if the chiefs all go that way, then they're stuck in contract. All of those ones having a meeting, they're stuck in contract with the Government of Wellington, and that's the end of that. You can cross off the Queen Victoria Trust and it just looks like Kingi and I will be going to Westminster. Just like the Prime Minister from New Zealand goes to Westminster or goes on the Crown side, we're going there as the commercial landowners. And these guys have to roll up with all the land titles, and they think I'm going to go there and give it to them? Like hell. They'll have to go to school and learn all that lot, because they think they can just pick it up like that. That's the part that gets me about going to Hui's, and I only get 5 minutes to talk about things like this, with this flag that don't even know how it works right through the world, only up the road. Jim, I'm going to ring you again and see if you're going to answer the phone or snub me. That's what it certainly looked like. There you go, you see, I've been stood up. He's just stood me up. Right, I'll ring Willie. This has really, really got me. This has really, really got me. Cancelling a hui. I'm really disappointed that Jim is now hanging up on me. On this video. I'm shocked that he's got the bug from Willie, that they're gonna think they're gonna run off and do everything. Morning, Willie. I just got off the phone to Jim, and it looks like he's just hanging up on me now. Everything's changed. Okay. And he said to me it's cancelled. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write it all off, because he's hanging up on me. And I'm going to sit and watch everything. I'm not going to do anything. You see? Because I'm upset. I'm upset. When I get upset, the whole thing is going to go. Because I tell you what, John Key is in big trouble, and the government here is in big trouble, because the British government is going after them, just because I said so. And I'll just watch, because I'm disappointed with them. That we had all this set up to go down to Matatua, talk to them, and I put on a presentation for this flag. You see, I can't stand in the middle of it now. I'm just going to stay there with Kingi and watch. Because if anybody tries to go and do what I do and go to Westminster, it's not going to work until you got all the documents. That's the trouble, Willie. I trust you, but I've lost confidence in Jim and Hohepa and all the rest of them. I've lost confidence. That's what I want to say to you. Because Jim is not answering me now. He switched me off. When that happens, I'll walk the other way. You see, because I've got a lot of information to put in, but when the native title is not right, then the British won't look at it, and you won't get nothing. You won't get the trust. You won't get anything, because they'll wait to see who turns up. And you fellows are right to do the confederation and incorporation. That's not a problem. That you look after the land and with the government in Wellington, and that's as far as it'll go, because it's a contract. And that's the part that nobody knows, is the contract part of the Admiralty. That's tied everybody up. and you can't shift out of the Queen side, which you're in, the Queen side, and the New South Wales side, not King William, you see. You can't mix the two contracts. And so I'm on my own with Kingi now, with the King's contract. And the rest of the world watching me online to claim the Queen Victoria Trust, which Kingi is the descendant of Queen Victoria. He's got a direct line ahead of everybody. And being the commercial landowner of Waitangi Marae, that land there, it's him that gets the title, not anybody else, because nobody was around when we put all this together over the years. Had Mohi Manukau and all those guys. And the titles to this country is Manukau titles to Britain. And the titles that the Confederation and Incorporations under the Te Tii Land Act is under the Queen's titles, which is all in trouble now with what I just put online about John Key. He's going to get assassinated because they don't want him to talk about owning up to what has happened with their own private business with this flag, you see. That's why I put the pound note up, to go right across everybody. And what's going to happen, everybody that's dealing with Paula Bennett and Bill English will get the pound note on their head. They're going to have to share it, really. I'm just telling you that. I told Kingi that that's what's going to happen. I'll file it off to the British Navy. I'll file off who's gone with the government of Wellington, and that's the way it is. Legally, that's the way it is. When you start going into the commercial world, that's too big around the world, under those what you call the cabal, then the Lucifer people, all those bad people, the Vatican, the popes, then that's what we're up against. We're up against all of that. I can't talk to anybody on your marae because it's not. It's mixed up. It's mixed up with the Queen side, with the fraud side that John Key's got caught. He got caught with the Prime Minister of China and the Prime Minister of Japan, Korea, all those ones who are in that against us and using us. You know, it's unfortunate that I have to tell you that the consequences of going along and in contract with John Key's government and now Bill English and Paula Bennett, that's why they went to your meeting, because they've got nowhere to turn to. They're only going to come up to you people, and with that contract that they've been playing around with all this time. They're on a ship without a paddle now, in law, and that's why I'm going straight over the top of them with the pound note, in that marae on Kingi's land. That land there where that marae, the Te Tii marae and Waitangi marae, is Kingi as a commercial land owner, nobody else. There, that's the end of it, where the buck stops with the law that the commercial people like John Key plays around with inside that Waitangi marae. That's why I went in there, but nobody's listening. So I can't do much than that, Willie. I'm just telling you that I'm disappointed with what's been missed. It's what I've been trying to tell everybody on maraes for years, how to fix things, and nobody's listening. Even there at the last hui at Whirinaki, nobody's listening to me. Nobody's listening because it's caught up in the system, and that way the government is still in control of you people. And until you got your own government and you got money, you won't get any money out of them, because they're $500 billion in debt now. That's the latest figure. I got all the figures here with the banks, and it's very difficult to try and get your land back, because their titles will be stuck on it forever if I don't do anything about it. That's my trade, Willie, is land titles. But nobody wants to know about it. And that bag I got, everything is in there from Mohi Manukau and Mati Tarawai and all those old people, Delby Hungi and all those sort of things. I've got it all, but I can't just go and throw it out to everybody. if they don't know it. They don't know how to handle the bigger picture in the world. That flag, this flag here went around the world, and the Confederation here only can go on the land where they're standing, because there's too many people on the land with Americans and Australians and all the people who can't shift off, just like that. The tikanga and all that whakapapa thing can't shift them off the land because they got their own uh, protection of some sort or another in commerce, right? You understand that, Willie? Yeah, that's what. But I just have to change my tact now that Jim, I can't get through to him because he's on my land blocks at the East Cape. We failed. Him and I failed to get our land back on the Port Awanui, and so I'm disappointed that we didn't get the Te Tumu Tumu Pairo didn't give us the lease, and Jim had his plan. They turned down his plan and turned down my application to get that land, so that I've given up hope on all of that lot. And that's Paula Bennett and Bill English government that's doing that to me, and they can do that to Kingi. Well, what will happen on Waitangi Day in that Waitangi Marae? It'll be just me and him talking, and to the government, and I'm going to give them the pound note and wipe them all out, just like that, Willie, because I can do it. I can do it, and everybody's going to get the bill that's on that side. It's unfortunate because I've got a big audience watching who wants something out of it too from this flag. So now the Maoris are going to be at the end of the queue when it comes to the British settling the cant that I've set up, and I've been trying hard for a long time to try and show people how it works. When I get 5 minutes from Hohepa, this is the most important thing in this whole world, is what I've got. And I can't get longer time to explain how that works, and it's all about that flag, you see, and it's a carefully guarded secret that these cabal people, that John Key is he's the leader of it, he's the banker that put him there purposely to run their business here and hide it in that Waitangi Marae. That's why I've gone and uncovered it and threw it up to the British. I wrote to them, the Prime Minister of Britain and the Secretary of Defence, and that's what happened now. I've made them do it. I've made them go and shut this government down, and everybody that's attached to it is shut down, and it's going to be run from Britain now, not from here. You see, that's the hardest thing to say, Willie. That our Maori people have been hoodwinked by the government in Wellington, and John Key has run for it. He's run off because they don't want him to talk. It's the same as Hillary Clinton. She does the same thing with a lot of people that disappear and don't know what happened to them. That's one of them. That's why the reason he's only fighting for his life now. It's in that situation where they don't care about anything but money. These people that are running that outfit, I think you got a fair idea about that. And that's why we can't get our land back, because it's too big. It's just too big to just think we can knock it over with a few Maoris. It's too widespread, and there's too many millionaires on our land that you can't just go and kick off. They've got their own protectorates from their countries, and there's a few of those up north on the land that's it's very hard to kick them off. And now you've got Trump. He's higher still with these cabal people that's going to keep them going and us keep down. And I'm battling this on my own, Willie. I'm battling them all at the top end by myself because no one can handle it. It's a bit much when it comes to these sort of commercial. It's only commercial, Willie. It's nothing to do with the native land and the whakapapa and all that. Those are still there. That's your job, is to look after the land, and my job to get rid of these people with their banks and everything off the land. I'm there to take the mortgage off the land. That's what I'm doing with Waitangi blocks. I'm taking the mortgage and giving it back to Kingi He is the, the one person that's listening to me. Yeah, he's listening because it's taken me a few years to drum it in his head, to try and at least say the British are not bad people. It's the ones in Australia that's caused the problem in Wellington, not the ones in Britain. But Britain is liable for letting them do it. You see? That's all, Willie. That's all I wanted to say, and see where everything goes from there. And when I get my composure back, I might change. But at the moment, I'm very angry and upset because Jim has changed everything on what we've arranged to have a meeting with Matatua. I was going to sit there with the whole lot of them and tell them how to get your land back one shot. You see, how to get it back and clean the government out of the way. That's what they Ngāpuhi wanted the government out of the way. They're going to stay there if I don't do anything. Really, they're going to stay there and carry on going in the fashion that Maori are so used to, being led by them. If I didn't jump in and bring the British in, the British put the pressure on them because I told the British in my letters, they're online, everybody's reading what I write, and they say, what's wrong with your native people, John? I said, well, they're obviously not listening, and you people are listening in Britain and America, and they're waiting for something to happen here to clear this lot out. That's all I think I said enough, Willie. I'll just, I don't drink beer, but I'm going to have a hot cup of coffee and carry on with my work. But I wished I had a presentation all day long just to say how to get your land back and take the mortgage off it. That's all. That's all I do. That's all I ever did, is to work out how we fit in this whole world when we've got the full power in that flag, and we should be using the flag for what it's meant for, trading around the world. You see? So when's your next hui? 21st of January at Pangaru, eh? It might change. Well, you let me know, Willie, because I trust you. Huh? Okay, Willie. Thanks very much, mate. Bye. There. I've just lost confidence in my friend Jim. You know why? I can tell you, but I won't. I won't tell you. Because when someone tells me there's a hui on, there's a hui on. Then I plan for a hui down this track. And so that's thrown everything. This is what's the trouble with Maori is. When you say something, then you change it. I'll never change. When I say there's a hui, there's a hui. I'll plan it. I'll put everything in it and make a good hui. Jim, I'm disappointed, mate. When you say there's a hui for Matatua, I expect there to be a hui at this hour. This late time when everything matters. Time is of the essence. That's what you said. Time is of the essence. And we've got to have a hui at any short notice. Now, I'll conserve my energies and forget about that lot. I'm going to sit and watch, Jim, how everybody performs with this flag, because the letters are already gone to Britain to put the squeeze on the government and anybody attached to it and entertaining Bill English and Paula Bennett, who are now Prime Minister Bill English and Deputy Prime Minister Paula Bennett liable. Anybody, a confederation, and if people call yourself whakamininga, you're dealing with them, you're in the debt. You get the pound note on your head. I'm telling you that right in front of the whole world watching this video. On the record. You deal with it, that's your contract. In the meantime, Kingi, one man, is listening to me straight to Britain. That's lessened the amount of people going. Now, the only one I got left is Manahi, Parapara, Mohini. And Bundy, Waitai, those two, Kingi, myself, and Jamie, Anna Marie, Patrick. Yeah, that's it. So go to Britain. For the record, in Britain, Westminster, that's all that's going at this present time. That's all that's going. The rest has to deal with the government of Wellington on this video, because I just told Willie, I trust Willie, Peter in Otau Marae, but I've lost confidence in Hohepa, Jim, and all the rest of them that are going down that track. They're going into the den they've been trying to get out of for years. They're still staying in it, can stay there and run your system under that government. In the meantime, Kingi and I, and Manahi, and Bundy, and I'll try and bring Bundy in them, are going the other way. I'll just give, where's this from? I've got to do this on this video. I've got to put this on the record. I'm just going to ring Bundy, Waitai, and let him know, because I'm really, really hacked off with what's going on. You see? I don't want to listen. Out. I think that's it there. Why, how come I got lots of phone numbers? Okay, I'll try them out. 2, 1, 4, 2, 1, 9, 6, 2. Okay, this should be Manahi, Parapara, Mohini, my cousins. Hi. Hi, it's John 1 hour here in Auckland. If this is Manahi's number, can he give me a call? Or whoever the number is, because that's connected to the whakamininga. And I just want to talk to him. Okay, thank you very much. Bye. John 1 hour. Man, I've got my numbers all over the place. Not very good office skill. I'll just try and get... Man, this is just going round in circles with these guys. You're hearing my frustration with Maris. You're hearing my frustration with Maris. I've been with it for years. The same old thing. They want to hold the hand that's killing them all their life. The government in Wellington. Looks like I got... I'll try and find Bundy's number. But anyway, if I can't get them, then I'll make another video, because I usually have their numbers handy. I've got that many diaries with numbers all over the place that it's very difficult for me to be organised, because there's so many things to do. But I'm not a happy chappy at the moment. I'm not a very happy chappy. Here's the number here. On here. Right, I'll try this one. Here goes. Money. Morena, it's John Wanoa here in Auckland. Otahu. Is Manahi there? Thank you. Morning, Manahi. It's Hoani here, John. Wano. Hey, I've just been talking to Willie Peter and also talking to Jim week or two. Now, Jim has been talking to Willie as well, and we're supposed to have a meeting down in Opotiki with Matatua Waka, but he cancelled it, and I was set up to go to it and put on a presentation, but it looks like he's been twisted in Hohepa's direction, and not what I'm doing with the whakamininga. Yeah, so that's disappointing because I've lost confidence in him because he keeps hanging up on me all the time. Just Jim I'm talking about, week or two. So this is what happened yesterday. John Key, he left Prime Minister. He left because the latest yesterday of the news is that the cabal is in trouble. The British government is going after all of those people in the cabal, and John Key was one of them. So he'll be assassinated. He'll be assassinated because they don't want him to talk and own up some more. So I've been watching the video. I've been watching the video of this what's just happened yesterday. So the shift is on, and I'll just try and find it because I had it already. Anyway, it's the cabal is the days are over for the Vatican, the Pope, the Black Pope, and all of that church, and the Queen. They're being reined in because of Trump and the letters that I sent to the British government to shut this government down. So what's happened here? I told Willie, you fellas, were you at the hui when Bill English came and Paula Bennett to the hui up there? That's what Willie said. They came to a hui up there with them, and that's when Bill English said to Willie and them, the chiefs that had a meeting, that they are the sovereigns. The chiefs are the sovereigns, right? I'm surprised that Willie told me that Hohepa and them might have been, you're not there, see, because you don't know, but they had a meeting with Bill English and Paula Bennett, and Bill English said that those chiefs are the sovereigns. And that shocked me. That shocked me because Paula Bennett and Bill English have got nowhere to go because the British has put the acid on them. The British is going to wind them up because I've sent the letters off, and it's all on Facebook. The letter I sent to Theresa May and especially to the Secretary of Defence, the Navy in Britain. So they're acting on what I'm saying. And so what I want to do is this, Manahi. That's your real name, eh? Parapara Mohini, eh? Because I thought I went and called you wrong, Tengari. But you're in the Tangari family and all that lot, but that's your name that sticks to my documents, right? That's going to Westminster. Now, there's going to be less of us going there if they're going down that track with that flag. They're taking Hohepa and them because they're from New South Wales, right? Hohepa's from New South. All that title in New South Wales is under Queen Victoria and Queen Elizabeth. Is caught out just yesterday. They're caught out, and it's become the purge of the cabal begins. That's the name. If you put that into YouTube, you can see it. And John Key's name on the list, and the Chinese Prime Minister, Premier, the Chinese, he's one of them too, and the Korean Prime Minister, he's one too. All the ones in running with their own business in the corporate side, and this flag here's whopped them all, right? Because it's the Admiral. This is the real Admiral that's gone to England to tell them who we are, who we say we are coming there. From on the 6th of February, it just looks like me, you, and Kingi, and Bundy, Waitai, right? The 4 natives, right? The 4 real natives. That's all you need, and Kingi, right? And Kingi, Kingi is the commercial land owner of the land that the Marae sits on, at Te Tii and the other one. That's how we get our land back, Manahi. And the Maori, unfortunately, going to be at the back of the queue behind all the other countries on my side, because that flag goes around the world where the Queen went, right? And we are in charge, just us, just this little group, me, you, Bundy, and Kingi. That's it. That's it. They'll listen to us. They won't listen to that lot because they're tied in the other contract with the Queen in New South Wales and Wellington. The one we have is contract straight to the King in England, right? Just between you and me, that's the way, the track we're going down to get our lands back. And Kingi's listening to me, what I say, and they've been knocking him around. They've been knocking him around at Whirinaki. They knocked him on the floor there, put Ruka in them, and that bag I had, money, had everything in it. It's got all these titles that are gone to Westminster with the right Parapara Manukau name on the title. The Scottish titles all over the world has got those 2 names on it. Okay? The oldest names here. That's all that the British went for, those 2 names, and the Moai and the Wānoa. There. That's it. So you're the right one. But for Jim Wikotu, he let me down this morning, and because Willie told him what happened, and I told Jim, this is what we're going to do. He pulled out, you see, and he won't answer his phone. He just hung up, and that was the end of that. You see? Though he's on the Ha blocks at the East Cape, and the thing they see is the money, right? Funny, they see the money and they think they're going to get it. The Queen Victoria Trust. That's Kingi's lot. That's his ancestor, is Queen Victoria and King Edward that made the money, right? Not these other fellows, because they can't have no claim to that. And there they are booting them around. You see, all the churches have been infiltrated by these Zion people, these Lucifer people, and these cabals. These rich families and their elites have gone and duped the church up. Nothing wrong with the church, but they're running it in the Vatican. And they used our flag. They used our flag and our king for the Admiralty to get themselves around the world with their pirate business. And the pirates from Australia, New South Wales, the convicts there, those are the ones I'm talking about, with Hohepa's one of them. His surname, his real surname is not Epiha, it's EPPING. From EPPING in New South Wales. EPPING in New South Wales and EPPING in Sussex, England. That's his Pakeha bloodlines. When you look at the tikanga Moai law, it's male line. All those Moais on East Island is all male. That's no females, it's male. God, right? God, straight up. And that's what I go under. That title, male bloodline, and King William's male bloodline only. Salic law forbids women from succeeding to the King William's title, right? That's why the Queen went to the scone, and her coronation is not real. They all know that in Britain, but they couldn't stop the onslaught of the banks and the commerce. Carried on. That carried on, and they just ignored everybody moaning about she's not a queen. And now she's gone to EU Parliament and a conflict of interest with the government of Wellington. There. It's a conflict of interest that's William and Hohepa. See, the thing is, it's Hohepa that's ignorant because he's Australian, and he's only been on the scene in the last year, right? Willie hasn't been going to all the huis that me and Kingi have been going to all these years. Over 20 years I've been going to waitangi and on the maraes all over the place. That's why I'm not rich, because I've been going to try and figure out one and the other, the incorporations, the confederation, and tikanga and all the rest of it. Right? That's why I came out with the Manukau title, because Matu Tarawa says, oh, don't listen to him, you come and listen to me. And then Moai says, don't listen to that fellow, you come and listen to me. Before long, I was listening to the whole lot of them, and Dan Davis and um, um, the other ones, and I ended up with Mohi Manukau. So I started doing Mohi Manukau's titles up in the Kaipara, and before long, it was all over the country with the Parapara. Right? Those two names went right around the country, and Chatham Islands has got those names on the titles I got in that bag. Yeah, Mohi gave me everything, and I had a fair share of Delwihungi stuff, and Hare Ututonga. The titles at Waitangi, with one house on the whole of Bay of Islands, is Ututonga. I got the title here to the whole place. So I said to Kingi, oh well, we'll put that title on there, on you, and stick that to Britain, because it's a British title. It's not a New South Wales title and Wellington government's title. You see? That's why we stay close to this one with Kingi, and with your apostolo and all that. That's Mohi Manukau's apostolo. You see? I know all of that. I know it right through. And Ratana, I know all that stuff right through, because I got it all here. I've got all his stuff here, and I've got all his Freemason stuff here too, because he was 50 years in the Freemason, Mohi Manukau. That's why Iru Manukau supposed to bring back from the Malta and the Knights of Malta. I've got all that here. I've got all the titles to Malta here, and the 20 flags me and Mohi Manukau sent to the Malta. But Iru Manukau he got mixed up in the gold and the trading, and lost a lot. You see? That's when I was talking over the phone with him, with Mohi Manukau, to Dubai and to Malta. Yeah, that's all on my Facebook, all that stuff, all everything. But nobody's reading it, only the British people. And that's why I say, what's wrong with your people, John? I said, well, they're not listening. They'll miss out because you fellas come first. You see, because it's their part of the contract too with King William. Not the Australian ones, they're not British. It's the ones from Britain, not the Australian ones. The immigrants from Britain have the first right ahead of the Maoris now. You see? But the Queen took from New South Wales, took the 99% and gave us less than 1%, and we're going back to get the rest of it. Right? Me, you, Kingi, and Bundy, and Jamie Patrick. She's the Patrick of the St. Patrick's Order Church in Dublin. That's where we came from. That's where our ancestors came from Dublin. And that 8-point star church, that's the church we're going to resurrect back into Westminster. King William III took the King James out, Catholics booted them out and went in and bought that 8-point star. That's why they wear the 8-point star all over themselves. And you know, the king of Spain, King Philippi, he's the successor to Ferdinand and Amaldas. Ferdinand just died last month, and so he abdicated to King Philippi IV, and he's wearing 4 of those 8-point stars on his coat. You know what that means, eh? He's holding our trust gold in the Philippines. He's a Filipino, you see. He's from Imelda, Filipino, and he succeeded as the King of Spain. But all the gold is stuck in from New York when they blew the place up. That 200,000 metric tons went to Philippines, and with that 400 there. So now there's 600,000 metric tons there. I've got all this from Karen Hudes. She was the ex-lawyer for the World Bank, and she's online now, and she's where I got those pound note figures from to get the pound note to 970 million trillion was from her, because she knows all the figure and whistleblow and told the whole world where all the gold was. So it was an easy job for me to make the figure to cover all that, right? Yeah. They blew that. Yeah, they put that. Yeah, well, that they took out of Fort Knox. They took that 200,000 metric tons and over to Philippines with that 400 that's always been there. And so that's 600 there. The other 200 is in Switzerland and Hawaii. There's another 200. So now that's our beneficiaries of this whakamininga, not the one Hohepa's running as Australian. You know, like I said to you, his real name is Epi. He always jokes around with saying, "Oh, my name is Epi Glass." All the time, it's Epping, the white man. Right? You got to watch all the Maori names because I know there's a thing online you can get where all the names have been changed from their original Pakeha name to Maori, like Paraoni, Brown, Whitcliffe, Wikirefi, yeah, and so on. Yeah, so that's where the buck stops. When I go on to Waitangi Marae with Kingi, I'm going to say to all the people there that are talking the most, stand up on your feet and say who you really are and where you get your authority from if you wish to go to Westminster and Taupakara. You watch what I do. I'm so used to that marae, just about to own the bloody thing. And Kingi supports me. He says, "Mate, I never heard it said like that before." I said, "Well, you better believe it. You know, you better believe it. Everything Maori is owned by the Crown. The Maori Land Court, the Maori trustees, the Maori this it's owned by it's a patent. You're stuck with it, right? You can't contest it because it was not your paperwork, and all that te ture whenua that they use, the incorporations use, Maori incorporations use, is being corrupted. You see, so I've thrown all that way and gone back to King William's 1830 to 1837 Acts, where you can hang them with it. You see, that's why I'm saying I'll hang this one and hang that one online, and nothing done. You see, all the stuff I put on Facebook, nothing happens because the British said don't touch. You see, don't touch, don't touch anything. That's why I never get scammed or I never get threats or anything like that because the good God up there is watching over me, the Moai, right? Our Moai is our memorial to the land, the mana whenua, not the tangata whenua, the mana whenua standing in London. Those Moai is the big one that Queen Victoria took in 1868. The first one, very first one that went off that island, went on Admiralty ship to London, and that's our title there. And it's in France, Belgium, and in New York, and Washington D.C., and Chile, and here in Auckland, the real Moai is there in the museum, and the real Crown one is in Dunedin. You see the Pakehas went straight down there with that memorial with the hat on his head, right? In Dunedin. Well, that's the real Crown. That's the real God's Earth Crown, the Atua, our Polynesian Tahitian title. See? That's Tainui, Ngāti Pro, Ngāpui, and so on, down that side, right? So I've got all that history as well in my bag. In my bag, all the Moai stuff and who we are, where we come from. Nothing like what has been written into law in Wellington. It's been covered up. Our own history with your own old name has been covered up by the iwi, and they're going to get the bill down there too. So we get our land back at Rangitukia and Haha, where Te Pito is. That Te Pito, you heard of the Te Pito? Yeah, at Haha Block. Yeah, well, that Te Pito is 6 a.m. in the morning. It's exactly 6 a.m. in Ghana, Kingdom of Ghana, and London. 6 o'clock at two same places p.m. and it's 12 o'clock noon, bang on the dot in East Island, where those Moai stand. Yeah, so that's our clock. That's a triangle, and midnight the other way. It works out with a square inside a circle, and that's perfect. There's no 3 points on dry land like that. That's the only one who. That's our title. That's why I got those pictures on my Facebook with that title as Mana Whenua, where those Moai stand, and they put it where in England where most of the power comes from. to ship things around the world, right? This flag we got is a shipping flag to take the gold around the world on. They won't put it up on the top of the ship. They put it in the cabinet, right? They put it in the cabinet in Wellington. Then away they went with the Union Jack. And then now they want to change the flag into something else because they've taken all the money out of it, and they still want it. This country is in, you wouldn't believe it, this country is in $500 billion debt. So that's what William them up. They're going to share that. They're making deals with Bill English and Paula Bennett, and Paula Bennett and them, they're going to pull the wool over their eyes. You watch. Yeah, and we're going to go march straight onto the thing with you and your apotoro, right? That I'm taking on the Mohi Manukau's history of the apotoro on the land, that all title, and you're there to take that spot. You see, but Jim has been a business fella for a long time, but it's gone to his head. The money when he starts he said, oh, I want to take a photo of those pound notes you got. So he took photos. See, they'll try and steal it. They'll try and steal it, and I know they won't get far because there's only 2 signatures on that. You see, they'll see, he's changed this morning. He's changed his tune just like that, and it's very difficult for me to go back to him, even though he's on our land blocks, because they got money on the brain, right? I've never had money. I would have been a rich fella, but I spent all my years doing this, finding the answer, and one day I'll be able to get back on my land very soon when we get knock out the land at Waitangi. No, Kingi knows now. Kingi knows what to do. He'll fix them up. Yeah, when I get the pound note one, he said to Bill English, well, here's your bill, and that's it. And say, well, you're married, you're with him on the bill. You see? That's why I'm saying to you, us oldies that are close to the Atua won't entertain anything that's got different agenda to the truth. The Maori can't keep straight face. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Moai is straight truth. My word against yours. See? My word against yours. What I say, and you can't answer it. That's what I said at that hui. You see me say, show me your title, Danny? No, nothing. I say that to everybody. They can't produce it because I was just pulled it out of the bag and dropped it in front of them, and they can't because the British got them on the land. It's the British, not the government wanting them. The British got them on the land. The British will take them off the land. You see? Yeah. You watch what happens. You watch what happened on Waitangi Day. It's not going to be the same Waitangi Day ever again because of what happened yesterday with John Key. You see, he had to get out quick because he knew this one was going to drop on his head. Yeah, he was trying to cover up for the banks, right? The banks are caught out now. Guess what? They got this pound note all over their head. The 970 million trillion pound note. The British Navy is responsible under the Admiralty, this flag, to recover it, right? So that's the real part of this flag that Maori can't grasp because you need to go to school for a long time to learn that one. It's too late to try and put something together and file it into the British. They'll say, no, we've already got it. It's here, and you can't match it. You can't. Your name's all wrong. Just like Sue Nakora when she went to the United Nations with Jeffrey Palmer and got kicked out because it said no, it's not New Zealanders. It's the Chiefs of Aotearoa on this title, and so they went to the Westminster to try over there. Same thing. No, your name's not on here. See? These fellows here, Hohepa goes with his korowai, because when I went into Waitangi Marae, they couldn't stop me going in there on the 15th with Kingi then Hohepa turns up and Willie, you see. So when Hohepa come in, because he's been watching what I do, he put his korowai in front of it and came in there in front of Kingi. And I said to Kingi, shush, don't say a word. Don't get upset. Just let him do what he wants to do. And there he is in the korowai, and Kingi's standing there in his sanctuaries, and the chief of that land, and this other one, the Australian one, doing all the talking. Right? Inside that marae. And thing was there, Paul Tipene, the policeman was there to witness. He says, well, I never. Is that how things are? You see, I went in there to do a court hearing for these pound notes and to legalise the pound note, legalise the flag, and legalise King William's Acts 1832, 1837. We can apply them. I can do anything anytime now, but I'm just waiting and watching who he's going to come before I drop the bundle. And Kingi will be the one to say, you the judge, and you say, I get up and sheriff, I say what's the order is, and you, and we have a couple more on as jury. You might have 2 or 3 on a jury. Well, you could be a judge, and Bundy is a jury, one of a jury, and Kingi is the commercial landowner, right? He's the commercial, and the Navy standing over there. The Navy standing over there that said the land belonged to the king, and then I say the land belongs to the chief, standing there, and not the king or the queen, and that's the end of that line. You see, and so that's what's going to happen on waitangi Day. So long as you know to keep that one to yourself until, because you, me, and Kingi are thinking right like that, and I've done my homework. I've done all the homework to cover the churches, the tikanga law, the law society, all of that lot. I've been through it all. And there's some people there that know what I do, but some that ignorance it's always ignorance that gets in the way, right? So if you look at my Facebook site, because you're on Facebook, you'll see me put the latest things. You'll see these 2 videos I just made, and you'll see the other video with this thing about the purge of the cabal begins, and you'll see John Key's name right there in the middle of it. There's about 15 of them altogether, the big high place fellas that are getting rounded up. They're getting rounded up, and Donald Trump's doing most of the hard work in America to rein them in, and so it makes us easier. We just walk in with the flag and take our place as the creditor, right? The creditor. So that means we administer, just us, administer for the whole world, not just here. We do where the Queen went, and we seize it off her. We're going to England straight after, not too long after. We go there because I can start writing out the money from that pound note that Kingi hands over. They're already in the bank, you see, in the ANZ here, and there's an ANZ in London, and it goes straight. I just write any amount for whatever, but not for these Maoris. Huh? Yeah. So what you can get the documents and stuff from there and my website. I'm putting things on my website, the moaipowerhouse.com, and you'll see I've got it right there now, where I'm putting just these things there, so that they're all in one place. Okay. Okay, Manahi. We'll catch you later, and I'll let you know if anything else. But at this stage, I'm glad that you understand what I'm just saying. It's very crucial. It's very crucial at this stage, and not many of them are listening. And I've got to make sure we got the right people, and they'll peel off. The money will make them peel off and not credible enough to keep their word. When they don't keep their word, that's it. Yeah, even though he's a chief, but there's something about it that's not quite right. Yeah, I've got to watch who I pick. Watch, even our own people who are like Ruka. his other cousin or whatever, Chris Ruka, he was caught up in the scam fraud and got caught. And this one is going the same way. Te Porohau is going the same way. He'll end up because of his business skills. That's like Charlie Hohepa. He got mixed up in Dubai with Eru Manukau, right? I used to talk to them a lot with Hohepa's mother, Hohepa, what's his name, Charlie. And I really thought they were going to get the money, but they tried to bring it in through Sunekora, and that fell apart. That all fell apart. So all those people who've been trying to get money into the country failed because they didn't have the titles. The old Manukau Parapara title. There. That's it. That's the one I'm holding. And I've sorted them all out, all the titles. The whakapapa is one thing, the tikanga is one thing, but not the commerce is another. The commerce and those titles from Britain override the titles right through the world. Manahi, that marae, waitangi marae, control the whole world. That flag controls the whole world because the Queen has hidden her business inside there with our Governor General. And they put Mateparai as the ambassador to New Zealand in London, and he filled the void space that the Queen abandoned the ship of King William and went into the EU Parliament there. They filled themselves, and he supposed to run. I'm going to kick him. I'm going to sack him and sack the Queen and go in as the head of our Queen Victoria Trust and switch it back to King William IV Trust. Right? The Pope Francis destroyed all the laws, the UCC law, the canon law, courier law, civil law, and Admiralty law, and they're still using it. That's why I won my case in Auckland, in the District Court, against the Cook Street. I can go and get that property any time I want now, and that's worth 2.5 billion. All their businesses, the car parks in Wellington, Dunedin, Christchurch, Hamilton, Auckland, and all their real estate I can seize. That's what I got those marshals to go, and they said yes, we can do it, and got us all arrested. Just as well we got all arrested because it made a case out of it. You see? So now that's the blueprint for seizing, because that's a British title. All those are Manukau lands in Auckland, right? The Manukau lands title from the Manukau Land Company in Scotland, the real estate company that sold the lands here before they came here. So all the land titles that the Ngāpuhi put together with the Bay of Islands and New South Wales, the British came here and seized all those lands in 1868. That's the year that the Queen Victoria took the first Moai statue memorial to London. That's when America lost its sovereignty, and that's when the racket started, right there. Right? And it's because of that Moai statue. On the commercial side, right? That's why I use it for a seal. You'll see the Moai Powerhouse website, it's got Moai there, Te Pito, right? That's our mana whenua title to where it stands in those countries where all the power is, right? We've got that, and King William Memorial and flag. That's the most powerful memorials in the world of commerce. Okay? Okay, Manahi, I'll go and have some breakfast now, and we'll catch you later. Have a nice day. Alright, bye. There, that's the apotoro. Ratana. Mohi Manukau, Ratana. Okay? Ratana, this one for you. I'm going down this track, straight to Britain. Not around where Ratana went. He went around to do the commerce. But that was a different tactic. Okay? Nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying it's got its place in this flag with Mohi Manukau and his history in the Kaiparas and all over the country where Ratana went. Okay? I'm going with that one. I'm going with that one as credible. Okay? That's credible, and as well as I'm just what I'm telling Manahi, Parapara. You see the name Parapara? Mohini. Those two names are very old as Manukau. Those three names are old as the land. You can't get any older than that. Okay, so that's what the British took as being title. They took that as being title. When you go down the South Island, the Paraparas are with the Manukau's in Motueka and the Bear Palliser up that Golden Bay area. You'll find the Manukau settlement. When you go to Chatham Islands, the Manukau settlement. When you go into the Manukau Harbour, the Manukau settlement at Puponga. Manukau tribesman, biggest tribe in this country at that time. Okay, I've got all their history here, and the Vatican's history here, the Freemasons' history here, Mohi Manukau, 50 years. He's in the Freemasons as well as in the Apotoro and Ruka, up in the Kaiparas and up by here, right up north. Rafiki, right through. I've got all that history still stuck in my head and I want to get it out so I can put good stuff in there. I've carried this for all these years, over 20 years. I've carried everyone's history as a nuisance to hold all that information in my bag. Okay, so with that, I just want to say one more time that John Key is now labelled a cabal bankster, likely to be assassinated, as per normal for the cabal to get rid of anybody who's either resigned or running away and holding information that they don't want people to know. Too late. He's gone. He's gone. He's retired from here and he's going to his grave where he belongs. And all those cabals, Luciferians, Zionists, that are running their elite businesses, your days are over. Okay, since Trump went in and started cleaning them out with Hillary Clinton, all the Satanists and Obama, especially Obama, and all that wasted money on themselves and not the needy people. Okay, so I wanted to say one more time that this purge of the cabal begins, and the final warning, Jesuit New World Order Pope Francis. He's one of the targets as well. Okay, so their names are in that video by William, where is it? From, I've forgotten what his name was. Anyway, the publisher, he's got more followers now than CNN on his videos. Okay, I've got it here somewhere, but I'm just saying that I've got it on my website now, moaipowerhouse.com, moaipower.com. You go there, and front page that I put on to Facebook will show the latest of what I'm just saying to Manahi. Thank you, Manahi. It was very good of you to support me with Bundy, Waitai, Bundy, Waitai, and Kingi Taurau. Okay, that'll do for now. Time now, it's 8:20 a.m. and we'll end this video right there. And you have a nice day, because I was in a bad mood this morning when I rang Jim. I don't like anybody hanging up on me and phones that don't work. You can't be in business with dilapidated equipment. I've never heard of anything like that in business, where the phone doesn't work properly and hangs up on you. Anybody that hangs up on me, gone. I can't deal with people like that, because they'll do it again. And Jim, I think you've got a serious problem, mate, on this video. And not having a hui I was looking forward to put a presentation on, appears that you don't want it. So I'm going to have my own hui waitangi with Kingi in the War Memorial Hall and do a full presentation there on the 3rd of February 2017 and the 4th, and into the Waitangi Marae on the 5th, and into the Te Tii Marae on the 5th, to tell you who you are when you stand on your feet and talk in there this time around, because buck stops there before we go into Waitangi Marae, King's Bench Native Court under Kingi Taurua and no one else. Okay? He's the commercial landowner that I'm saying to him. And that's the end of that. So Jim, if you think you're going to do that without all the documents I'm holding, it's not going to work. You have to get past the apotoros that Mohi Manukau and the titles that he held that are in Glasgow, Scotland. The Manukau Land Company. You see, the Manukau Land Company, Scotland, seized all your titles here and reissued them back to the same mongrel pirates in New South Wales, Hohepa's lot, and Hohepa Epiha's lot, and the government running them. That's why they're talking to each other. They've got a two-way conversation going between Bill English and his Prime Minister, new Prime Minister of New Zealand, Bill English, and Paula Bennett, his deputy, and the chiefs of where Willie and Hohepa, the Australian Maori, went and had discussions with them. So you're liable now. You're liable straight on this video. You're liable because you're dealing with the fraudsters. That makes you a fraudster when you deal with them in contract. You've got a contract that you can't break out of. Your 1840 Treaty of Waitangi Agreement on Te Tii Marae, that's you, Hohepa, that's your problem. That's your problem, Willie, on that marae. And we have no problem. That's debt. You've got a $500 billion debt to pay off to Moai, King William IV Trust, and the British Navy military in Waitangi Marae. That's your debt. Your debt and all the other debts that the police did to me, and all the other pound notes added to it, the 970 million trillion pound note. That's your debt, Willie and Hohepa Epiha. That's your debt because you Maoris have conjured up all of this and booted me and Kingi out. Right? You've gone and ignored us and what we had straight to Queen Victoria Trust and the Akaroa Bank. You ignored us, Hohepa. Your ancestors told you how to be ignorant. I don't mind saying that on this video because all my videos are admissible in the High Court of Admiralty in London and in the Waitangi Marae King's Bench Native Court here. Two equals. We're splitting it between there and a dual government. Moai Crown, federal, state, Commonwealth government of the world, dual with the British, UK government under King Ernest Augustus V, reigning monarch, King of Britain, UK, Hanover, Aotea, New Zealand, Pacific Islands, and the Commonwealth world countries. Okay, you got that? We're the creditor, you're the debtor. You're the debtor, Willie, and all your lot, all your Maoris, and including the original native Maoris who joined that lot. So unfortunately for you, Jim, I have to cut you loose because you let me down. I'll just have to go with less people because you hung up on me. I don't like being hung up on. I don't like being hung up. I've been in business a long time, over 30 years. I've been in business, self-employed, to know how to run business with my own businesses. Right? I'm still in business now in London, the Moai Powerhouse Group Limited Company, registered in London. Okay, that's the creditor, and Ngā Atua Ewa Aotea Limited, registered here, one of 1 trillion shares to spread all that 970 million trillion pound note over that lot, with all those people who are joining us online to grab that slice of that. Hohepa. And unfortunately for you, lot of Maoris, you're at the end of the queue, a long way off, because all the rest of the countries, 250 countries in the world, minus you lot, it comes first. That's divvied up to them, right? To humanity, where the spare note goes. You won't get much, because it's up to Kingi now to say who's going to get what from his Marae, where his ship of Admiralty partner is. Nothing to do with you, Hohepa. That's nothing to do with you. You got Bill English and Paula Bennett. That's your lot. That's your lot. I'm saying that on this video. I don't mind how long ago, but I'm saying to you now, you're in contract with them as of this video, on this day, Thursday, 15th of December 2016, for the record, in the Waitangi Marae King's Bench Court, and for the Westminster Parliament, UK Government, and Navy, UK British Navy, our partner, our legal, legitimate partner in business, commerce, under this flag of Admiralty, 8-point star, St. Patrick's Order, Dublin, King William III, monarch reigning, inheritance to our partner, King Ernest Augustus V, and his son, Prince Regent Ernest Augustus, King in waiting, partner in business. Okay, that's our oath of office to them and to our Moai ancestors in East Island and Raiate Island, and to our ancestors in Dublin and Scotland, Glasgow, and to Prince King William's memorial ancestors in Devon, England. Okay, that's the end. That's the end of that. That's the end of that. Full stop. So now I shall get on with my day and keep going. One native chief less. There. Or in fact, more than that. I'm ticking them off. I'm ticking them off. There won't be much left. We don't need any of them. We only need Kingi, the chief, myself, and Manahi, Parapara, Mohini, and Bundy, Waitai, and my friend Jamie, Anna Marie, Patrick, Stuart, Patrick for the 8-point star, real person, your surname, real surname, and Stuart, Scotland Yard. Okay, that's her side, and me, the Moai statue, straight. Jim's off the other way today, unfortunately for him. The buck stops there. No one cancels on me because something else is on the agenda. Jim, I won't wear it at the end of that lot. Okay, that's all. Bye for now. See you later. Have a nice day.